Okay, let's talk about Pictomancer. I'm not gonna lie, man. When I first started playing this job, all the way back when it released, or even before it was released, when this job was teased, I was like sitting here saying that, man, there's no way we will ever proc on Picto just like Black Mage. This class, it might be good ADPS, but because it's an RDPS job, so most likely it will not be better than a Black Mage. That's how the game is, right? That's how the game be designed, right? If you got a red buff, you just will not be stronger and should not be stronger than an ADPS job. So like Samurai is always gonna be top because there's no red buff, so it's gonna be top. Machinist amongst physical range supposed to be top, but it's not. Obviously, but who gives a about machinists, right? We're not here to talk about machinists. We're not here to talk about samurai. We are here talking about caster. So when you get a caster like Black Mage, where you got high ADPS, no red buff, and no rest, it will sit nicely at the top, but you don't bring it for proc because there's no race. I'm talking about normal proc. Maybe you include ultimate proc, whatever, that's fine. Now, Pictomancer come into the game with a red buff. Everybody who understands how this game works will know that Pictomancer is most likely not going to be stronger than Black Mage. Unless you're playing in an optimized group where the red buff, 5%, will carry if you're playing with, say, 100% player. In that one situation, an RDPS job may be better than an ADPS job. That's what we all thought. This was pre-expansion, okay? That's what we all thought. But then when Picto came out, I think it was straight off the get-go that everybody think that this job is already broken. A lot of people were actually already calling for nerfs in the first day. I was in the camp of, I don't think it needed a nerf. I just think other job needs a buff. And during that time, it was fine. You know, during 7.0, it wasn't so bad. Because maybe our gear, maybe the fight, you know, no downtime and stuff, right? The fight is just, you know, straight, full fight, right? So we are just playing normally, right? And playing normally, it doesn't feel like Picto is like super way ahead. I don't think Picto was over buff at the beginning of the expansion. I think Black Mage was too at the beginning of the expansion. So that people were already calling for Picto to be nerfed, Picto to be nerfed. Now I'm on the camp of, nah, Picto is fine, the gameplay is good, the DPS is fine, just buff Black Mage, just buff the other job. Now what didn't I expect is that they didn't buff the other job. They did not. They claim they did, they say that they will, but they didn't. Even when they buffed Black Mage, they were making gameplay changes that are actually making it strong. It's just more convenient, more fun, a little bit more fluent to play. But Black Mage really didn't get a buff. Same for every other job. Every other job has some quality of life. You know, throw dagger, get extra potency. But other job didn't get buff compared to what Yoshi P says. And then you get Arcadia. Savage is different. A lot of people proc with Red Mage and Summoner still because it's Savage, right? Recovery is more important. In a race, recovery is more important. In PF, recovery is more important. In a static, recovery is more important. So people still didn't play that much Picto. The moment people start playing Picto, that is where the DPS disparity start to appear. People start to realize that, holy f***, Pictomancer does a lot of damage. What the f***? When you get your beast, Pictomancer was just blowing every single job out of the park. That was when I think everybody is like, yo, that's a red alert. This job is overpowered. What did Square Enix and what did Yoshi P say? They do not want to nerf this job. Because this job is being enjoyed by a lot of people. Favor of the month. Everybody is playing it. They do not want to nerf it. They say they want to buff other job closer to Picto. They did not do that. Second round of buff, still, they did not do that. They give potency to jobs that is so far behind anyway. Yet again, they didn't do anything for Black Mage. A lot of jobs didn't get their buff to get closer to Picto. Now, when you go into an ultimate, two things happen in ultimate. Number one, you got an intermission phase. You got downtime phase, which means that Picto is going to be more powerful because you are gaining damage while in downtime painting. Other jobs don't gain damage. Maybe some jobs like Samurai, Medidate, sure, but most other jobs don't gain resource. So they don't gain damage. Number two, you can't really recover in an ultimate. So bringing a Red Mage and Summoner over a Picto, the value is way lesser compared to Savage. Now in Savage, bringing them is better than Picto for proc purpose. But in an ultimate, not so much anymore. And then number three, you could take Picto to replace a melee, yet still have that recovery if you want. So it's like Picto does everything now. So Picto takes care of everything now. Right now, there's a community outburst regarding this job for many reasons. Number one, everything evolves around this job right now. If you bring this job, you will have a good time. It's fun. It does crazy damage. It doesn't affect comp. Again, like I said earlier, you can bring this to replace a melee. You can bring this to replace a caster. This doesn't break comps because it's so f***ing powerful. It is literally stronger than the melee. It is so powerful, it's stronger than every caster, but you can still bring a caster. It is so powerful that even if you bring double caster and your Red Mage and Summoner suck in damage, this job takes care of everything anyway. yet you still get recovery. Bringing a melee plus red mage versus bringing a Picto plus red mage, a Picto still win. A Picto and red mage combination still win. And then number 2, in an ultimate fight where boss HP is low and you got so many phases and so many downtime, this job every phase just pull ahead, pull ahead, pull ahead, pull ahead, pull ahead. Which that means that you got more leeway, more leeway, more leeway. The more you do the fight, the more leeway you get. And number 3, the DPS numbers. Bro, this job do so much damage. Like I said earlier and in my replay, you see, even if you have a damage down and you die, it don't matter. There's no pressure. If you play this ultimate without Pictomancer, every phase will be actually tied, properly balanced. You might actually need to play perfectly 0 death, no damage down to clear the fight. Now, obviously, if you're playing with super good optimizer, then I think it's still fine. But I'm saying normally, if you're just like going through the ultimate, not having a Picto is huge. This job got too much power right now. That's the problem. That is the biggest problem. I don't know how Square Enix is gonna balance this. If they make the boss HP more to cater to Picto, if your comp don't have a Picto, that balance where they buff the boss HP will not be relevant. Because other comps is not gonna meet the DPS check. Or even if they do, it's not gonna be comfortable. So they cannot buff the boss HP. They buff the boss HP, other jobs is too low. Now, they should buff the other jobs. Now, if they buff the other job, then they also need to buff the boss HP. So that's a double balance. So right now, they are in a situation that I really don't know what they can do. They can't nerf this job. You cannot change the way it plays. The gameplay is already fixed. It's really good. It's very flexible and its utility is amazing and its movement the best out of all the casters. I don't think you can change gameplay. The only thing you can do is nerf it, which is what everybody been asking for since 7.0, day 1 of the expansion. And they refuse to do it. So they are Japanese developers also. Japanese developers are stubborn. The fact that Yoshi P came out twice to say that they cannot nerf this job, they most likely will not go back and nerf this job. And they cannot do it now. Can you imagine right now if they buff all the job? Dude, FRU is gonna be a joke. You're gonna have 5 deaths and still clear FRU. If they buff every other 20 job to Pictomancer kind of level, I will say every job is about 3 to 5% behind Picto, right? If they buff all 20 job 3 to 5%, this ultimate would be a f***ing joke. So they cannot buff the other jobs right now. And even if they do, they can't immediately give you the 3 to 5% that you are lacking behind. Or more. Could be more. They can't buff the job right now. They cannot nerf Picto because they don't want. And they cannot buff the fight. So what now? Now they are in the limo. Now they cannot do anything. That is why the balance of this game right now is the worst. Their only solution is to nerf this job. And again, like I said earlier, after 2 times, I don't know whether he will do it. Which again, I want to conclude with Yoshi P. Where the f*** are you? Your game right now is in a very unbalanced state. Everybody is complaining. Even the JPs are complaining. And then you also got the cheating situation in this ultimate that was addressed immediately during Unnamed. And then this time, not even being talked about. So you got your Pictomancer that you don't know what to do. You got your cheating situation you didn't address. It's on Yahoo News. It's big news. Where is our producer? Where is our man at the helm to come out to assure? Right now, this is getting out of hand. For the first time in Final Fantasy XIV, we have a job that is literally breaking the game in an entire patch cycle. Usually, when a job is too powerful, say in 0.0, they will nerf it, adjust it, and usually even if that job is that powerful, it's not 10% more powerful. So it's very easy to make adjustments. And then while they make adjustment, they can make adjustment to the boss, they can make adjustment to the encounters, the fights. But this time they didn't make any adjustment. We are now how many balance changes? We got before Savage balance changes, we got post Savage balance changes, and then we got pre-ultimate balance changes. We got 3 balance changes already. And yet, nothing is addressing Pictomancer and its problem with the game right now. You know, at the beginning, we are like, guys, come on, this is a new job, let it cook. This is a new job, let us enjoy. This is a new job, everybody is playing it, everybody is enjoying it. So, you know, there's more passes, sample size. Maybe Picto is not that strong. But I think now it's already concluded. Pictomancer is breaking the game. It's too powerful. They have to do something about it. Balance changes from Square Enix doesn't come in big patch. It's usually little bit by little bit by little bit. The gap is too big now. How many patches are we gonna see until the other jobs are actually gonna caught up? How many? Is Pictomancer the most powerful job the game ever have? Yes. The next powerful job that I can think of was Ninja in 2.4. Ninja was broken, but even Ninja was not this broken. Even Ninja wasn't needed, a must-have compared to Pictomancer today. Like today, legitimately, you need a Pictomancer, hugging an ultimate. Now, I'm not saying that ultimate is meant to be parked, but now because they make this ultimate so easy, overall so easy, you can't blame the players to decide that this time, this is definitely the one that's parkable. Parkable, clearable on content. The difference is so big that on the park general play level, it becomes mandatory. Pictomancer is legitimately mandatory now. Playing in PF recovery is not important. Playing in PF more important is learn the fight. PF will never make big brain play to recover to clear an ultimate. All you need to do is mechanics. Sometimes you bring a summoner. You bring a summoner, you bring a viper, you bring a warrior, you bring a machinist. Good luck, have fun. I can also pull up FF logs right now, obviously. This is pretty bad. Number one, look at the difference. Number two, look at the amount of people that play Picto versus the other class. 309 versus 5. We have a serious job balance problem right now. This picture right here gives you the entire story about the current balance of the game. Square Enix need to do something about it. Yoshi P needs to address this. The worst thing is dying with the wrong belief. Fighting, bleeding, and dying on the wrong belief. That Pictomancer should not be nerfed. No, Pictomancer needs to be nerfed. I don't see how you can balance 20 job versus balancing 1. I don't see how you can change the boss HP values based on, you know, buffing the others. No way. There's no way. Like, it's just, you can't. I'm sorry, you just can't. Nerfing 1 versus buffing 20. I just think that is a no-brainer choice right there. That's what I want to talk about Picto for now, with the current situation for this patch. This whole patch cycle. I wanted to wait until this late to talk about it, because, you know, now it concludes the whole patch cycle. Usually patch cycle is like a season. A savage patch, 0.0, 0.1, 0.2 plus 0.3, 0.4 plus 0.5 is considered 3 patch cycle, aka 3 season. Now that we finally complete the season 1 of Dawn Trail, now that every content except for the chaotic, that one don't matter, but all the like the end game, all the high end content is already out, which is where the balance is most important. Right now, Picto is just broken. I hope that they do better for the next patch cycle, you know, the next Savage and the next Ultimate, because right now they have a lot of work to do. If they do not want to nerf this job, they have a lot of work to do. I will also be talking about Ultimate as well. All this video is going to be rolling out until the next Savage, right? So thanks for watching the video. If you're in YouTube watching this video, thank you for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, and leave in the comment below. Is Pictomancer strong? Am I smoking crack? Is Yoshi P right? Is other people wrong? Let me know what you think. Your feedback is very valuable to me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Okay, there we go. Cut.